So recently, if you guys haven't heard, my game Finds Peepees 3 has been taken down due to it being too violent or scary. Yeah, I know, pretty shocking, it being Scratch. But what I want to talk about today are the comments, and I'm going to read some of them because after our comrade, one of our games, got taken down, I'm pretty mad about it. I'm going to go on a rant about it. And, yeah. But it's actually annoying how they took down this one game. It's just so silly, and I really don't understand their policy here. I feel like the whole it being too violent or scary is a topic that can just be taken down immediately. It just doesn't really feel like a rule. Like, okay, well, how can you prove it's too violent or scary? They don't even put that up here. And if it is too violent or scary, why can't you just have an option to just take down the sprites or anything before actually taking it down? Like, there's just so many things on Scratch that I just disagree with, and they don't seem to do anything about it. Like, there's just other features, like the See Inside feature and the Remix feature, that I just don't really understand. Not to mention, the comments are probably the one of the worst things I've ever seen, because it's literally just people spamming and spamming the links of their game. It's actually just silly. We hear Scratch being, the Scratch team that there are, and they just took down my game because it violated something that violated it like 2 years ago, which is actually insane. And then they just gave me this link over here to their delusional comments. Can't wait to read those. But I mean, if my game is too violent or scary, why are my other games not taken down? Like, look, we have this game right here, which is pretty much the same exact thing. I'm not even kidding when I say this. It's quite literally the same exact thing as Final Fantasy 3 Remastered. The only difference are just the character models, and yeah, that's pretty much about it. And as you can see here, this one has 9,000 views, which is like 7,000 more than the other one. Finds Baby 3 Remastered, or this one. This one is not really scary, but it still counts as a Finds a Freddy's game. Quote to them. And look at that, 12,000 views. This game, almost 4,000. This one, 3,000. And then literally Finds Baby 3, which is the exact same game as the remastered one, except that we just pumped up the models a little bit, quite literally, and it's still up. Now, again, Scratch, what is the whole point of this? Like, I really don't understand. Like, there's other games that are even more violent than my game, yet they're taking it down. I mean, maybe you could go for the you could just say that, oh well, we should have added a jump scare button, but then that defeats the whole purpose of FNAF game. Not just that, but I mean, you still have a jump scare. I mean, why would it matter? So I'm really not understanding this. That's just that. Once again, why are the other games still up? If my game's gonna be taken down, why are everybody else's Final Freddy's games still up? It just doesn't make any sense. So enough of my rambling. Let's just read what they say, because they sent me this beautiful link, and they are the ones that call it too violent or scary. Which, by the way, I don't know if I should see that as a compliment or just be right out offended. They're just literally just calling my game scary, which is the main thing for it. I want it to be scary, so I don't know if I should be happy about that. But at the same time, they took it down for that reasoning, which is so funny just thinking about it. Just saying Flying to Peepees got taken down because it's too scary has to be the funniest thing to ever hear in your life. Like, I actually cannot believe that. So yeah, that was the most goofiest thing I've ever read. So anyways, let's just get to the comments. So we got your boy Speak Visually here. Now, I want everybody to keep in mind this was made in 2015, but their policy never really changed. So we're just gonna get to the meat here. So over the past year, the Scratch moderation team has been thinking and rethinking our stances on Scratch projects that feature the popular game Five Nights at Freddy's. Alright. When these projects started appearing in the community, we heard a number of Scratchers who questioned the appropriateness of these projects and all ages website. Jeez, because I read that so wrong. I sounded like Willy Wonka for a second. We've continued to hear from Scratchers, teachers, and parents who have expressed concern about these projects. Okay, I mean, I don't know what's so bad about them. They're literally just sprites. I don't really see a guy urinating in his pants because they saw Humpty Dumpty finance of Humpty Dumpty's. I mean, I don't really see the aspect of that. But you know, whatever. Let's just keep going. What aspect of the game can be considered inappropriate according to the Scratch community guidelines? And then there's just a bunch of things of disturbing energy and stuff like that. Which, I'm sorry, sir, but have you ever even played a Final Freddy's game? I don't know if you guys ever played a Final Freddy's game, but there's literally a giant goddamn warning that says all of this. Warning, flashing lights, warning, frightening images, warning, jump scares. There's literally an entire warning that tells you about this. So this entire sentence here that you just wrote makes absolutely no sense because the viewer himself or themselves are literally getting warned about it. It just doesn't make any sense. And 99% of the time, the jump scares, the frightening images, and the flash on the screen aren't even that scary. I'm literally a YouTuber that looks at these things. I've played so many FNAF games, and there's so many on in my community, in my studio, and 100% of the times, they're not really that scary. It's just a fan game that you know, they just want to support the original creator. Like, I don't really understand this. And also, I don't understand about people using Scratch for coding. Okay, I hate to break it to everybody, but Scratch is probably one of the worst codings to ever exist. If you want to learn actual coding, just go on Unity, or hell, even Roblox. Roblox has way better coding. Scratch is literally just blocks that you just put together like Legos and make a sentence out of it. And not just that, but I feel like you have more like freedom when you're making 3D modeled games. And I just really disagree with this. It just doesn't make absolutely any sense. What's the impact of this content on Scratch? Multiple school districts have blocked access to Scratch. Several parents have reported their children having nightmares. I mean, once again, I don't know anybody's having nightmares of fighting at the peepees, but I mean, again, I don't know if I should feel, you know, ashamed or I should feel accomplished. A number of community members feel uncomfortable browsing Scratch because of this type of content. Okay, again, how good are these people at making FNAF games? Again, the Scratch games, not to call anybody out, but none of them are really that good. And if they are good, they aren't as good as the ones that you see like on GameJolt or on Steam. Like, you also gotta realize these are just sprites. These are literally just cartoon modeled games. They're not really meant to be taken seriously, and most of the time, again, the characters that everybody use are not really that scary. Like, a good pal of mine, Creepy Dash, his game has Mickey Mouse in it, for crying out loud. My game has Mickey Mouse in it. I have a giant goddamn pink monkey as one of my characters, and people are thinking that's scary. Like, I'm actually really baffled about that. I cannot believe this. In the coming weeks, the Scratch Foundation will begin to unshare some Final Freddy's content from the website. Again, why are you only unsharing some of them if all of them fit the criteria of your really crappy guidelines? Also, can you guys just stop using the excuse about your game, or not your game, but your website being for kids 8 and up? Because you guys literally brought up politics in your quote-unquote website that are for 8 and up. Like, literally. Like, I don't know about you, but 2 years ago, they sent a news or whatever about Black Lives Matter. Not that there's anything wrong with it, okay? I'm not here to trash or to talk about it, okay? That's not the video for today. But what I want to bring across is just why. Just why. You're literally... Politics is something that's not supposed to be for kids 8 and up. I mean, I don't really know, but I'm sorry, but if you're 8 years old and you're on the politics, you might want to switch out, no matter what side you're on. If you're on any side, even the side that's right, which, by the way, in politics, there's just no right answer. It's just politics. It's just people just screaming at each other who's right and who's wrong. Okay? But Scratch here thinks it's more appropriate to talk about racism in their website than actually posting, you know, find it to peepees. You know, find it to peepees is a no-no, but if you're talking about racism, you know, we gotta post that on our website, because, you know, that makes a lot of sense. Absolutely crazy. I'm never gonna understand the logic behind these people. It's just like Epic Games and YouTube. None of them make good decisions. All of them, they're just delusional in their rights, but it's whatever. And they're talking about gender identities and stuff like that, which I don't understand what gender identity have to do with racism. With but it's Scratch and sexual orientations. Again, I don't think your 8-year-old needs to learn about sexual orientations or gender identities or racism or whatever crap you guys talk about. But whatever. I just want to talk about this topic because again, I don't think it's fair how Scratch game in general, Biscuits games or Ender's game. At the end of the day, they're just fan games made for fun. They're not meant to be taken seriously. They're not meant to hunt anybody. They're just there because people love the franchise and they want other people to talk about it, which is why there are communities on Scratch that are for FNAF because people love it, not to scare 8-year-olds on the internet. Like you have to be delusional to think that somebody made a FNAF game because they want to scare a bunch of kids. That's just not how that works. And I mean, I don't know any 8-year-olds that know how to code on Scratch. Scratch is not even a good website for coding. Like I said, it's just I see Scratch more as a website just for fun than actually just serious. Okay, we for crying out loud, we just make fan games on the internet. Like it's really not that deep, and it's actually silly because people that are 8 and up are actually a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's because Five Nights at Freddy's is a big game. If you, my sister, who I'm not gonna say her age, but let's just say she's below 8 years old and she talks about Five Nights at Freddy's. She loves it. So I don't really understand these kids unless you're saying my sister has bigger balls than these people. Then that is just sad. I mean, I don't really understand. And then there's just these people here just talking about how it should be unshared without any reason at all. They're just saying, oh yeah, we just agree with this topic. Like, it's just silly. Now, I am going a little hard on everybody, but it just doesn't make any sense. I feel like there's just way bigger problems than taking out Five Nights at Freddy's games. How about if your website, I mean, is mostly for people to really learn about coding, why is there a remix button where somebody can just steal content off of somebody else? Or why is there a button to literally look inside it and then export the sprites and put it in your game? Or heck, going back to the remix games and the C inside, if you guys didn't know, there's actually a way to literally completely copy a game and it'll be viewed as your game. You can literally go onto your folder, press new project, wait for a game to trend, and then all you have to do is just steal all of its sprite. Oh my god, what was that? Jesus. All you have to do is steal all of its sprites, and then it'll look like you're the original creator because it's been created longer. Because that creator waited, which is a really crappy thing to do, and it's something that you guys should never do, okay? Because it's crappy, and you have no right to do that, okay? It's just silly. There's just bigger things on Scratch that should be talked about, yet nobody talks about it. They're just delusional and saying that Five Nights at Freddy's is the enemy here. And I don't know. I just want to talk about this topic because, again, I find it super silly how my games are getting taken down because it's too violent or scary, which is the most dumbest rule I've ever heard in a website. So yeah, I'm sorry about the rambling, and yeah, see ya. That's some nice faucet water though. Look at that. Look how look how that flows.